Welcome to the Rye 5, where we review and rank based our. Can we restart it?
Well, I'll cut all of this, but
Okay. So,
just tell me when we're starting. So
welcome to the Rye 5, where we review and rank based our top
rank
and
our top.
our top 5. Okay.
Alright.
Welcome to the Rye 5, where we review and rank our top 5 of whatever the hell I want. I am your host, Rye Snide. I am joined here with my brother.
I'm Corey, the curator.
And here, what we have is the Rye 5 is the top 5, where we basically do our top 5. I pick a couple a week, and we come in here. So today I have, I see what you mean. by
Yeah, it's
doing
weird.
that. So I completely skipped over where we catch up.
No, I mean it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I mean we can start from scratch, but just natural. You do the little intro thing, and then it's kind of like a conversation where it's like so then you'd be like, well, how are you doing, Corey? And then it's like also lean forward a little more.
Lean forward.
Get you in the. Make sure we get you in the. And you don't gotta say the intro like how it's written. You can say it however,
Okay.
however you like, whatever feels natural to you,
Welcome to the Rye 5, where we review and rank our top 5 of whatever the hell I want. I am your host, Rye Snide. I am joined here by my brother.
I'm Corey, the curator.
All right, so how are you doing on this fine Saturday?
It's a pretty good Saturday over here in our neck of the woods. I'm excited to get started on doing this. I know we've done it like audibly a couple times, and now we're trying to add the video component to it all.
Put it all into work.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is awesome.
Awesome. So I've got here, I'm going to do the 5 I'm doing today is guilty pleasure movies.
Ooh, guilty pleasure movies. Now, I was a little, I was wondering, like, because I think people define guilty pleasures, like, differently. Like, what would you say, like are guilty pleasure movies? Like,
So I have a couple of different thoughts on it. Guilty pleasure, it could be looked at as like, why would you watch that regularly? But so the ones I've got also could be, we've kind of talked before where you cut out what the actor may have done in his past.
right.
Like, can you separate it from their craft?
Yeah, like Kevin Spacey or Bryan Singer, these malign pedophiles. Like
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, he was racist at one time. I don't know if y'all know that.
Asians. I don't
He
know.
hated Asian people. It's
What
crazy. I
what
love
he
Asian
did,
people.
just beating Asians up in high school. It's like,
Terrible,
who
man.
does that? Okay. So anyway,
So I guess that's one kind of guilty pleasure. Like,
so I was gonna say, fire off. My first one I love is, because Mark Wahlberg, he's a funny guy. He does, but Ted was.
Ted's good.
Ted
Which I would say that's guilty for a couple reasons. A lot of people would consider like stoner movies kind of.
Is not tasteful. A lot of people don't take it tastefully, but
Ted is a work of art.
he is a plush bear. I mean,
Yeah, so, and that bear was convincing too.
He
I mean,
is.
You forget like, oh, that's like a CGI thing.
yeah. The second one, as a child, how does he do that? I mean, it's
Right. Spoilers for Ted 2. I think.
all right. So, what is your?
My first one, and I think this more like guilty pleasure along the lines of like, why would you like this? I like Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde?
Legally Blonde, classic detective story with just a funny spin on it. It's a funny spin on the whole detective like mystery kind of like thing. It's interesting, and you got a lot of classic people in there. You know, if you're into like that '90s cheese, that early 2000s cheese, you know.
I think I've caught it on a day I was homesick from school. So I mean, I think that was one, but
See, it's got a good twist to it.
It's a solid movie.
Spoilers for Legally Blonde. The case is solved with like beauty like knowledge of like, you know, you said you had just had a perm. Why would you be in the shower? You heard those gunshots or something like that.
Oh,
like,
man.
And it's like, wow, this is what's cracking the case.
Right.
What you got next?
The Ringer. I mean,
The Ring. Ableist. You're an ableist.
I think that's what I mean. I know that
it's so hard to talk about this movie without doing an impression.
100%. But I mean, it's a solid movie. You know, it's a solid plot. I know that a lot of people probably look down on it. They probably didn't.
Don't scratch people's CDs. Don't scratch people's CDs.
Honestly, when did they go out for ice cream?
When did they go? You can't just be lying in front of people like that. These people are innocent.
So yeah, that was my next one. You know,
Ringer.
Johnny Knoxville, solid.
Johnny Knoxville. That's right. Yeah.
So what was your next one?
Next one I've got here. Oh, The Ringer was on mine too. Okay, so
Wow. Okay.
there might be some overlapping here. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull out Clue.
Clue.
Classic cheese. Classic 80s cheese. It's so cheesy. It's so like just dreadfully written.
I've never seen that one. So
The best adaptation of a
board game.
into a film. I mean, it's the best you could hope for. But Christopher Lloyd is hilarious in that. He's got everyone thinking he's gay the whole time. Then at the end, he's like, "I'm gonna go home and fuck my wife," and it's like, why? Like, why would you? Why would you say that? Like, it's funny, man. It's classic. I definitely recommend 10 out of 10 Clue.
So okay, I might have to watch. We'll have to watch that one sometime. But so next one for me is the movie Concussion. Have you seen that
Concussion?
one?
I haven't seen Concussion. What is Concussion?
So that one's a guilty pleasure for me because so it's got Will Smith in it. He's the main guy,
Okay.
and what it is he's the doctor that connects football with CTE.
Okay, very controversial.
Yeah,
Very controversial. So is that why it's guilty? Because controversial? Do sports fans
it's
look
guilty
at it
for
as
me
like,
because as a sports fan, like it's like I like this movie. It's got Will Smith in it. I like the actor, but it's not for the fact of like it's guilty pleasure because like guilty as in like I also love football for the fact of like.
So does it make you feel literally like guilty?
Yeah, it's like I shouldn't enjoy this because it's not
ethical.
Ethical.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
It is.
There are those movies you see from time to time that make you look at things and you know like it two opposite truths can exist in the same world.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. So mine is a much maligned, probably the most maligned of every M. Night Shyamalan movie ever. And I'm not going to say this is the best Shyamalan work. I guess Glass might have like replaced that recently. People hate Glass, but
Really?
Lady in the Water. Which if you saw those previews when that movie came out, it was so obnoxious. Every time you turn around, Lady in the Water.
Like you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're like, what is
Yeah.
that? Like
Yeah, and it's again cheesy ass, and I think that's most of where my guilty pleasures come from is like how cheesy the movie is and just cringy at parts, and you just like, how did they film this? But Lady in the Water, it's sort of a postmodern fairy tale based in this apartment complex with all these colorful characters.
Okay.
Like the hero, I guess the knight of the story is this guy who, for whatever reason, and I don't know if this was like a real thing or if they had to like use some prosthetics or something. There was a guy in the movie that exercised just one half of his body. So one half of his body's all shrimpy and like atrophied, and the other side is like jacked, and like he's got like jacked muscles and like dies and shit. It's weird. It's a weird movie, and it's about this water fairy that comes out of the pool of the apartment. It's just slogs through like these weird. I mean, it's a weird movie, but again, it's like a postmodern fairy tale. I like that concept. Sometimes I'll like a movie just for the concept. Just like I like this concept. The execution may suck. Hopefully they'll try it again.
Right, like maybe the sequel will do it justice.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe.
So next one for me is What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Ooh. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, and people say it's an objectively good movie. So what makes it like guilty?
So for the fact,
do you make fun of it the whole time?
Absolutely not.
Okay. That's good.
But well, Leonardo DiCaprio is a solid actor,
and he went full R.
He did.
He went full R, which is, I mean, that's admirable. When you know.
So that's kind of why it's a guilty pleasure. It's like that's
it's
not
cringy.
how. Yeah, but it's like some people might not.
The
be
mom's
able to
kind of
watch
cringy too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cringy movie, but like for the best reasons, really.
Exactly, but it really opens your eyes if you really watch it.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with like, I mean, peek behind the curtain here in the Appalachians, you come across families like that all the time. Put Mountain Dew in the baby bottle.
Work in the public.
Trading food stamps for fast food. Like
it's wild.
Yeah, it's
or
a
for
wild
cash. Or for cash.
For cash. I mean, we can get on to like the whole tangent there.
Yeah.
Like,
but anyway, so what's?
Oh, lastly, I have here the DC Extended Universe movies, and I know it's not just one movie. I like that whole universe. People hate it, like fans and critics alike. Like there's only a very small cult of people that like those movies. I always thought it was strange that they never mentioned that Bruce Wayne and Superman's parents or mom had the same name. I mean, that blew my mind in the theaters. Maybe that was just like, I know everyone else groaned when that happened, but I was like, I mean, that's an interesting, and they're dark and they're gritty. I don't love the fact that Superman is a gritty character in those movies because he is supposed to be like the bastion of light. I don't love that Bruce Wayne's cracking jokes and shit, but I mean, I like them. For me, it looks very much like that 90s gritty comic book world brought to life. And so it satisfies that part of me. It's hard to rewatch those movies. I'll give you that because they're like 3 hours a piece. It's insane.
Wow. You don't really. I mean, do you need 3 hours? So,
I mean, it's a big story.
It is. It is.
Story.
But
that's that. I don't mind.
So next one will be The Outsiders. Did you ever see that movie?
I love The Outsiders. I wouldn't put that guilty. But maybe if you go back and watch it now.
As an adult, I did it, and that's
cheesy?
kind of it is. It's like but it's a solid movie. I still like it. It brings back nostalgia.
When I smoke cigarettes, I would never fall asleep with a cigarette because of that movie.
Honestly, I mean that'll scare anybody out of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, The Outsiders. I mean,
awesome. A good book.
Solid book.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, we did that one in school.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
And also our dad is a fan.
Yeah, he was big into the fringed leather jacket scene. He was big into the greaser. Yeah, the 80s greaser, not the 50s greaser. He was more like that 80s greaser. There was kind of like, you see this happen every couple decades, like something comes back in this new form.
Something they bring it back, something from like 20, 30 years, and they bring it back. But
surprised we haven't seen a resurgence of greasers, like 21st century greasers.
It's probably gonna come within the next.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
I got a leather jacket in there waiting.
I'm already halfway ready. So did you want to move on to our next list?
I think we'll do that on the next episode.
Okay.
What do you think?
That'll work for me. So thanks for joining us today on the Rye 5.
Still getting that outro figured out.
So add my own. Okay. Thanks for joining us today on the Rye 5. I am your host, Ryan the Rye. And make sure to like and subscribe. And if you would add your credentials.
Visit my YouTube, Corey the Curator, where I do like unboxing and gaming and my own curations.
Alright, most importantly, stay snide but stay rye.